Susan Dey's journey to fame began with a strong foundation in creativity and determination. Born on December 10, 1952, in Peoria, Illinois, Susan was introduced to the world of entertainment through her mother, Ruth, a nurse, and her father, Robert Dey. Susan's mother passed away when she was only 8 years old, which added emotional challenges to her early years. Despite these hardships, she developed a passion for performance. After graduating from Fox Lane High School in New York, Susan initially pursued a modeling career, catching attention for her beauty and photogenic presence. One of her first notable appearances was on the cover of a health education booklet aimed at young girls, marking a cultural moment as it addressed topics like puberty and menstruation. This early exposure helped pave the way for her transition into acting, where her beauty and presence would become the hallmark of her future roles. The Partridge Family and rise to fame. Susan Dey's breakout role came when she was just 17, landing the part of Laurie Partridge in the popular ABC series The Partridge Family, 1970 to 1974. This sitcom about a family of musicians made Susan a household name and transformed her into a beloved teen idol. Portraying the musically talented and wise beyond her years Laurie, Susan quickly became a role model for young viewers. While the show only lasted 4 seasons, it was immensely popular and made a lasting impact on pop culture. Despite her lack of formal acting training, Susan adapted to her role effortlessly, earning praise for her charm, maturity, and poise. While her career was quickly taking off, Susan was also dealing with the pressures of growing up in the spotlight. As a young actress, she found herself constantly scrutinized by the public and the media. Life after The Partridge Family. After The Partridge Family ended in 1974, Susan Dey explored different opportunities in both television and film. She briefly reprised her role in The Partridge Family 2020 AD, an animated spin-off of the show, but it didn't capture the same magic as the original. Seeking more diverse acting experiences, Susan returned to television in 1977 with Loves Me, Loves Me Not, a short-lived romantic comedy where she portrayed a woman navigating a complicated relationship. While the series was cancelled after only a few episodes, it was clear that Susan was eager to break away from her wholesome image as Laurie Partridge. She also appeared in films during this period, including the 1972 thriller Skyjacked, marking her first big-screen role, and the made-for-TV drama Mary Jane Harper Cried Last Night, 1977, where she portrayed a troubled young mother struggling with psychological trauma. Exploring complex roles in film and TV. As the years passed, Susan Dey continued to push her boundaries as an actress. In 1981, she starred alongside Albert Finney in the science fiction thriller Looker, where she played a model caught in a sinister conspiracy involving media manipulation. The film, though not a commercial success, earned praise for its ahead-of-its-time exploration of themes like identity and digital manipulation. Susan's career continued to evolve as she took on a series of challenging and varied roles, including playing a struggling waitress in the 1986 independent film Echo Park. That same year, she joined the cast of NBC's L.A. Law, a landmark role that solidified her as a serious actress. As Deputy District Attorney Grace Van Owen, Susan portrayed a character who balanced intelligence, compassion, and professionalism, navigating complex legal and moral issues. Her performance earned her a Golden Globe Award in 1988, as well as multiple Emmy nominations. The success of L.A. Law and continued accolades. Susan Dey's role on L.A. Law would become one of the defining moments of her career. As Grace Van Owen, she played a character that showcased both strength and vulnerability, capturing the complexity of a woman in a high-powered legal career. Over time, her character evolved into a judge, allowing Susan to explore themes of power dynamics and professional responsibility. Her work on the show earned her widespread acclaim, including a Golden Globe Award for Best Actress in a Drama Series in 1988 and 3 Emmy nominations. During this time, Susan also made her mark in other areas, such as hosting Saturday Night Live in 1992, which further proved her versatility as a performer. In the same year, she starred in the romantic comedy Love and War, though her time on the show was cut short when she was replaced by Annie Potts in 1993 due to a lack of chemistry with co-star Jay Thomas. Personal life and family. While Susan Day's career was filled with highs and accomplishments, her personal life had its fair share of ups and downs. She married talent agent Leonard Herson in 1976, and the couple had a daughter, Sarah, before their divorce in 1981. Throughout her career, Susan juggled the demands of being a mother while also navigating the pressures of fame. In 1988, she married television producer Bernard Sopransky, and together they maintained a low profile, living a life far removed from the Hollywood spotlight. Despite the challenges of her personal life, Susan remained dedicated to her family and valued her role as a mother above all else. The privacy and stability she found in her marriage to Sopransky offered a sense of normalcy away from the constant public scrutiny of her earlier years in the spotlight. A voice for advocacy. In addition to her acting career, Susan Day has been an advocate for several important causes, especially in the area of sexual assault prevention. She serves as a board member for the Rape Treatment Center at UCLA Medical Center, where she has worked tirelessly to raise awareness about sexual violence and advocate for victims. Susan's commitment to these causes extends beyond her work with the Rape Treatment Center. She also co-narrated a documentary on campus rape, shedding light on the struggles faced by survivors and the importance of prevention. Her involvement in such projects highlights her dedication to using her platform for meaningful advocacy and her determination to raise awareness about social issues that affect women. Struggles with anorexia. During her time on The Partridge Family, Susan Day faced personal struggles that were not known to the public at the time. She battled anorexia, an eating disorder that involves extreme food restriction and a fear of gaining weight. The entertainment industry during the 1970s placed intense pressure on young actresses to maintain a certain physical appearance. And Susan, like many other women in Hollywood, succumbed to these pressures. Though she kept her condition private during the show's run, Susan later spoke openly about her struggle with anorexia. Her willingness to address her battle with eating disorders helped bring attention to the dangers of such conditions, encouraging young women to seek help and raise awareness about the mental and emotional toll that fame and beauty standards can take. The fallout with David Cassidy. Despite the on-screen chemistry and apparent friendship between Susan Day and David Cassidy, their relationship behind the scenes was far more complicated and ultimately painful. While they initially shared a bond, their friendship began to sour due to David's behavior, particularly his treatment of women. Susan, who was more serious about her career and craft, found David's womanizing and flippant attitude troubling. As time passed, their bond grew distant, and the once warm relationship turned cold. However, the real break between them came years after The Partridge Family ended, when David Cassidy published his memoir, Come On, Get Happy, Fear and Loathing on the Partridge Family Bus, in 1994. In it, he revealed intimate details about their past, including a sexual encounter they shared after the show ended. The way David wrote about this experience devastated Susan, and she felt that he had violated her privacy by making these details public without her consent. The betrayal and lasting hurt. David's comments in his memoir, particularly his description of their sexual encounter, humiliated Susan and left her feeling deeply hurt. She was especially upset by the way he dismissed her feelings and objectified her in his writing. As a private and emotionally sensitive person, Susan found his portrayal of her disrespectful, and ultimately, a betrayal of trust. From that moment on, she reportedly wanted nothing to do with him. She refused to attend any Partridge family reunions that included David Cassidy, and she maintained a dignified silence about the situation. Although David later expressed regret for some of his comments, the damage had already been done. Susan's quiet, dignified response to the betrayal spoke volumes about her character, as she chose not to engage in public drama, instead opting to preserve her dignity and move on from the painful chapter in her life. A lasting legacy of grace. Despite the betrayal by David Cassidy and the difficulties she faced in her personal life, Susan Day's career and personal journey remain a testament to resilience and grace. She has navigated the pressures of fame with dignity, advocating for causes that matter to her and remaining fiercely private about her family. Through her struggles with anorexia and her advocacy work for sexual assault survivors, Susan has proven that there is more to her than the glamorous roles she portrayed on screen. Her career, marked by a range of characters and a commitment to personal growth, stands as an example of an actress who refused to be confined to one image or type. Though she was hurt by David Cassidy's betrayal, Susan's ability to move forward with strength and integrity continues to inspire many.